Welcome back to Pulse Studios, home of 94.7 The Pulse Community Radio and Pulse Television. This show is proudly produced by Diversitat Media students and volunteers. So if you'd like to be part of our show as a volunteer or are interested in any of our media courses, check out 947thepulse.com. Next, history buffs know all about the Battle of Bannockburn. Bethany checks out all the festivities at a local reenactment.
I'm here in Bannockburn for the Battle of Bannockburn. It's a two-day event and a celebration of 700 years since the Battle of Bannockburn in Scotland when Robert the Bruce defeated the English. Let's go find out what's on offer. John McNamara from the Bannockburn and District Lions Club is the event organiser here at the Battle of Bannockburn. Why did you put your hand up for this event?
We had this great opportunity to celebrate or do something with the 700th anniversary. Now, you get one chance to celebrate something like this, so yeah, we decided, why not? We live in a town called Bannockburn, why not celebrate in a big way? What's
on offer here today?
Well, we have, I suppose the highlight is the medieval re-enactment, which is trying to, I suppose on a smaller scale, do the re-enactment what happened 700 years ago. We've got horse jousting, we've got Highland dancing, we've got pipe bands, we've got Celtic music, we've got a big birds of prey demonstration, obviously farmers markets. But by saying that, we've got vintage tractors and vintage cars and vintage motorbikes and you name it, kids entertainment, everything that we could possibly think of for a family we try and put on the day.
What sort of organising went into such a big event?
A lot is a simple word. Now, the committee got together over 2.5 years ago. Now the Lions Club of Bannockburn have run smaller events in the past, but we really wanted to build it up for this event. So look, we've got a committee of obviously naturally Lions Club members, but it's held at the Bannockburn Golf Club. We've got a lot of golf club members part of the committee, plus a lot of just general community members throughout Bannockburn who really wanted to do something special for the town. Put it on the map in other words. Bannockburn is a growing town. It's a satellite town, I suppose, from Geelong, and a lot of people are moving out here. We have been really selling it over the last 12 months because of this event and really trying to get that historical feeling about why we're putting this on. And so people are learning, people are asking questions, and yeah, it's amazing how people are starting to understand.
And do you have a Scottish background yourself?
No, I'm McNamara, that's very Irish. No, in Irish we probably like a drink or two, and this actually came about by a few guys at our Lions Club having a few drinks, trying to work out what can we put on for the local community.
So Scottish or not, it's something for everyone?
Yeah, very much so.
James, you're one of the reenactors that participated in the Battle of Bannockburn today. How did you get into this?
I started this about 8 years ago. I went up to a Queensland festival called the Abbey Medieval Festival, and I didn't know this even existed. And when I saw it, I said I have to be in this. So the next year I had a full suit of armour and I went in and actually fought.
Is it your own suit of armour? How did you make it, buy it, borrow it?
So the parts of this I've made myself. So the leather reinforced splint armour I've made myself. These gauntlets were made by an armourer. This is actually imported from overseas. And this is made by one of the other reenactors as well. So we can do a little bit ourselves and then we buy a bit of gear as well.
So John Hawkwood, aka Stephen Wiley, is involved with the Battle of Bannockburn, the actual reenactment Battle of Bannockburn here today. Tell me, what goes into reenacting a battle like that?
Reenacting a battle, you need to know the history of the battle, you need to recruit the reenactors and organising to get them there on the one day for that battle.
I imagine there's a lot of research that goes into that.
Indeed, I've been doing this for 30 years now, and I've been doing the 14th century for the last 5 years. So I've done a lot of study to work out the arms and armour and costume of everyone involved.
So all the armour and the costuming we see today is accurate for the time period we're talking?
As accurate as possible.
With this battle, the Battle of Bannockburn, it is very much a historically significant battle. Can you talk us through the history of it?
Oh, well, it was general disagreement between the two kings, and the King of Scotland didn't want to be a liege lord to the King of England, so they fought over it, and hence the Battle of Bannockburn.
It's, of course, 700 years ago. Why are we still reenacting these events?
We're still reenacting these events because they're crucial to our understanding of the past. If we don't understand the past, we're bound to repeat those same things again and again.
What's the best thing about doing historical reenactments?
The best thing about historical reenactment is having the fun and feasting and frolicking.
Sounds pretty good to me. I'm here with Sir Craig and his horse Ash. They've been participating in the jousting here at the Battle of Bannockburn. Craig, how did you get into such an interesting sport?
I've kind of always been into this sort of thing. I never really grew out of it from being a kid.
Now talk me through how jousting and what you do at events like this. Talk me through how it works.
With the joust, the idea is to get the two horses to run at each other, which is a really unnatural thing for horses to do. And the object is for the two knights on the horses to break their lances on each other's shields without injuring anyone.
There seem to be a few other competitions going on as well. What are they?
Practice for the joust was pretty key, so a lot of it was geared to that. The practice with the rings it's warfare, but it's also just controlling your weapons and your horse and getting them used to running in that line. But practicing for warfare as well, when you're trying to hit the other guy and actually kill him. And then there was the hunt, where we're throwing javelins at a target on the ground, which is representing some sort of animal that you're trying to catch and then obviously eat at some point.
I'm here with Paul Michael and Zorro. Paul, why are people fascinated by birds of prey?
I think birds of prey have been something that have been part of human life for forever and ever. We don't know exactly how long people have been working with eagles and falcons for, but it's as long as they've been recording history, maybe even longer.
So how do people use them?
Today we're here for wildlife conservation, just to display and demonstrate, give people an opportunity to meet the eagles and the falcons and the owls. It's a lot of educational stuff, a lot of up close, hands-on. In the past, in other countries still today, Europe and United Kingdoms and Asia, for example, people would use them for hunting. We don't do that in Australia because it's against the law. These are all protected species, native animals, but we operate under a zoo licence, so basically anything a wildlife centre does, we also do.
So what do the birds think of coming to events like this? I can see that Zorro's got his little hood on.
Yep.
What's it like for the birds to be here?
Well, all of the birds that we use for these types of shows have always done it all their lives. So they come from long lines of zoo, wildlife park, display sort of breeding. So they're not wild birds. It's against the law to take birds out of the wild. So they've grown up doing this, and it's the life they know.
What's the best thing about being a bird handler?
Yeah, working with the Australian birds of prey, the wedge-tailed eagle, the peregrine falcon, it really is a privilege. It's the kind of thing people pay to go to zoos and wildlife parks for, but I do it for passion and for a living.
This has been Bethany Keats for Pulse Geelong in Bannockburn for the Battle of Bannockburn.